Hello. So today I want to talk to you about the game Bohnanza. And this is a game I have been playing for a long time. And I know I've been playing it for a long time because it actually has a 25th anniversary edition out now. This is an early Uwe Rosenberg game, or at least I believe it's one of his earlier ones. And it is Bohnanza with an H because of how bean is spelled in German. And you are a bean farmer in this game. Now, this is a game I played early on around the same time I started playing Catan and Ticket to Ride. This is a newer version, a newer printing than I had that Amigo sent to me. And I love it because the version I had was just the cards. And this version has the mats in it that shows you your bean fields that you have based on player count. So this game is great because it plays 3 to 7 people, and it definitely plays better, I feel, at the higher player counts. And people are always asking for strategy games that play more people. And this is one that plays up to 7. It's not a party game. It is a strategy card game. So everybody's going to have their bean fields in front of them. And then there is the deck of cards. Depending on player count, certain bean types will be removed. And bean types have different rarities. So unless you're playing at a higher player count, you will not have the cocoa beans, of which there are only 4. You will not have the wax beans, of which there are 22, and the coffee beans, of which there are 24. The more rare a card is, the better the payout is going to be on it. The more common a card is, the payout isn't going to be quite as high. So the thing that is interesting about this game, and I think it is one of the games that did it first, is you are dealt your hand of 5 cards, and you, cannot reorder your cards. I know this has become more common now in games like Scout and things like that, but I think this is one of the games that did it first, where you get your hand and you don't get to reorder it. So whatever order things came in your hand is the order they stay in. So what you're going to do on your turn is you are going to plant in one of your bean fields with your first card. You may then choose to plant your second card, or you may opt not to. Planting your first card is required. Second card is optional. Then that's your planting phase. And there are player aids that are going to walk you through what you're doing. And one of them is also the starting player card, so you know if you're the starting player. So first you plant, then you get 2 cards from the draw deck and flip them face up. It is now the trading phase of the game. So I am responsible to get these 2 cards dealt with, whether that ends up being me planting it into one of my own fields, whether that means I trade it with someone else. So I can use these cards and the cards in my hand, any of the cards in my hand. This is where it doesn't have to be the first cards in my hand to perform trades with other players. So potentially somebody out there already has chili beans planted, and I say, hey, I will give you this chili bean for someone who has a red bean. Or looking in my hand, my next 2 cards are stink beans. So maybe I want to get some stink beans into my hand so that I can then plant those. So whatever is traded, we can trade with all the players, but all trades must involve the active player that turn. There can't be any side trades if that's not their turn. So we do the trades, we do the things. Everything that's traded goes out on the table, and then everything that was traded that turn, maybe those went away, must be planted. If nobody wants these or wants to trade for these, I can offer them to players for free. They can decline, but sometimes they'll take me up on it. And then everything must be planted with the people who traded and with myself. So no cards go into my hand during the trading phase. So let's say I got some stink beans because let's say I planted these earlier. I got some stink beans. I added, someone took this, but nobody wanted my chili bean. I have to plant it. I'm out of fields. So I cannot just scrap a field with 1 card if I have a field with more cards. So that's a tricky thing. If both of my fields only had 1 card, I could scrap either field to plant this because I must plant it. However, because there's 1 card here and 2 here, I have to scrap this higher one and plant this. Now, if I had 3 stink beans in my field, then I don't have to scrap it because this says 3 stink beans is worth 1 coin. I could harvest this, and the back of the cards are coins, so that's really handy. So I get my 1 coin, discard the rest, and then I can plant in this field and play will proceed to the next person. So I love that the cards are multi-use because when you harvest, Now, if I had harvested on my stink beans, if I had harvested more of them, you can see I would get more points, and coins are your points at the end of the game. So this is a game where 1 or 2 points can really make a difference. And this is where having the rare beans can pay off really well, but they're also much harder to get, and people may not be as willing to trade for them. So this goes around and around and around. When this deck runs out 3 times, essentially you play 3 years, that ends the game. So you're going to be churning through these cards. You're going to be planting things. There's a lot of trading happening. And I feel this game plays better with the higher player counts because there's more options for trade. If you're playing with only 3 players, you do get 3 bean fields. So that does help you have some more options. But where this game plays up to 7, I feel like at the 5, 6, 7 player counts, it plays better because you're going to have a lot more options for cards. Granted, you're also going to maybe have a little bit harder time getting those really rare cards because more people might be holding them. But this is a game that definitely shines at a higher player count. And because of that trading phase every turn, it's not like you're waiting forever for your turn to come back around because you're potentially doing something every turn, planting every turn. You can also harvest even when it's not your turn because maybe you filled up a field and want to do a trade. You can harvest if you're like, oh, I've maxed out this bean, I'll harvest it and take the coins. So then when it comes back around to me, I have open fields and I'm ready to play the cards in my hand. So I think this game was innovative because as far as I know, it was one of the first to say, hey, you can't reorder your hand. It has several different things going on where you're planting, you're trading, you're trying to get rarity. It's a charming game. It's been around for a long time. There's a reason it has a 25th anniversary edition and has had so many different printings because this game's a classic. I know right now Target is selling it in store and online. If you're having a hard time finding it, that would be a good place to check. There is also a 25th anniversary edition that comes looking more like a book, which is fun. So if you want to seek out the 25th anniversary edition and you have kind of some upgraded components in there a little bit. And then there is also a Dahlia's version. This is the same game, but it's with flowers instead of beans. So if that's something that appeals to you more, you can check out the Dahlia's version of it. But like I said, Bohnanza is a great game. It stood the test of time. It's one of my tried and trues. I've been playing it for many, many years. I would love to know, have you played it? What do you think of it? Thank you to Amigo for sending me this updated version of the game so that I now have bean fields and don't have to just play on an empty table. Give me a like and a follow, and I'll keep bringing you more board game content. Thanks. Bye.